No, what would I do? Get off of it? No, okay. What I need to do now, though, is hang on just a second. I got to get more stuff going here. No, I just got to get where I can share screens with other stuff. I have a student that's at home today, and I don't know if he's going to join us or not. But anyway. Where is I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I may need it. I may need it. I thought I had this going. Okay, this is going here. So here's screen. There we go. Nobody's entered in yet. Okay. I cannot minimize. Okay, all right. But I can do that. All right, let me check roll, and then you and I will make sure that I get this conquered. I have a box here of masks if you need a new mask or a mask. I've got more and more notifications every day that I have students in quarantine, and that's so sad. So I don't want you to be one of those notices. I have a son-in-law, step-son-in-law, who is a radiologist at a local hospital, and he shared photographs of a healthy lung versus the COVID lung, especially on the Delta variant. And so while the healthy lung is very dark in color and rich, you can hardly see the lung. It's like cotton candy. There's almost no definition of a lung in that image. And it is a very scary set of pictures. Once you see those, you understand that this particular variant is nothing to mess with. And we've got behind it Mu and Lambda variants coming in. So you need to be vigilant. And I would encourage you also, while I'm in COVID vaccine, to get a flu shot this month. Because you don't want to have a weak immune system from that coming in to make you more susceptible to the viral situation. So it's a cocktail of stuff that we got to be vigilant about. And it's a new world. We've gone through wars, we've gone through terrorism. Now we get to go through viral attacks. So hang in there, remain strong. We'll adapt because that's what humans do. Okay, Sterling Brown, fantastic. Noah Carrasco is here. Okay, Gabriella Davila, thank you. Justin Fryer, okay. Amoy McDonald, super duper. Logan is not with us unless he comes in on Zoom, so because he's got the COVID going on. Kayla, you might shoot him a email off class list on Brightspace and wish him well and so forth. That would be good. Carlos Peloblanco, did I get closer? Closer, okay. Victor Ruddy. And Aura, Zach, I don't see here. Okay. All right. Well, we got most everybody going here, so we're in good shape. All right, what I want to do now is I'm going to share screen. Let's see. Okay. We are on the course entry page. And don't forget, on Mondays from 12 to 1, if you need to drop in, I turn on Chat with Prof, and you can drop in. And like I'm doing a class session today through it. And if you have a quick question or just want to hang out and chat, that's fine. So anyway, all right. So what I want to do right now is I want to take us into the second speaking project. We've done the first one, and I'm hoping that you went through the study material in the learning about communication. Because if you didn't, there's things in there that you won't understand or make use of in the rest of the speaking project this semester. Every speaking project leads us into the next one. We're building skills step by step. And if we skip over the study material, the videos, the documents, the web pages, etc., that I've selected for you from the expert, you're just going to be kind of trying to wing it and fly off the seat of your pants. And I'm going to tell you that you won't score well. It'll be very obvious. You have to understand that I coach competition presentations, debate, speech, drama events, blah, blah. For 21 years, we've competed on both the 4- and 2-year college circuits nationwide, and we were quite successful. And I retired from that in 1994. So I have a good idea about what a good presentation and what's not so good. On top of that, I have taught probably 2,000 or 3,000 students in public speaking classes here at NCC. I know what beginners look like. I know how beginners should progress. This is not our first rodeo, girls, guys. I know it is like our own word to say guys, so eye contact is needing adjustment. But anyway, I want you to do something for me. First of all, just set up this little routine. One, when you go to a speaking project, first thing you do is digest all the materials that are there for you, written and viewing and so forth. Then you should look at your instructions for that particular presentation. You should also look at the grading rubric. And you should use the grading rubric that I'm going to use while you give your presentation as your rehearsal and your preparation and your rehearsal checklist. And you want to ask yourself, how am I going to score on each of these items? And each item is worth up to 5 points. Some of the items are like basketball points. The ball went in the basket, or the ball went in the basket from this distance or that distance. It's a slam dunk on calculating the point. Other items are a little more subjective. So now you got to think about, if you cited X number of sources, you get the points for that, okay? If you cited all your sources that were asked for, you get all the points. If you didn't, slides down. Other items are not basketball points like that. They're kind of like, was your introduction engaging? Did it get our attention? So you got to think, would it get her attention? She's heard so many things. How do I get there? And that means you can't just toss it off. You've got to be planned. Got to think about it. You are your own worst critic. You're your harshest critic. That's why we all have self-esteem problems, because we're our own worst critics. So ask yourself, if I'm sitting out there looking at the screen or sitting in an audience in a chair, is this going to work for me? Is this going to grab me? Or is this going to be a yada, yada, yada moment for me? And then work, plan, create, grab your own attention for it. Make sense? Okay. So, the grading rubrics, don't ignore them. Folks, those are the test questions. I don't give regular exams in this class. These presentations are your major exams. Those grading rubrics are the test questions, the real test questions, not a study guide, the real test questions. So how many of your professors do that for you? Do I stand alone?
Should have one.
Uh-huh.
Should have one. The rest of them kind of will be stuck at the wall.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to get into all the different teaching styles and so forth. I went through them all during my career as a student, and I can tell you that I've experienced stuff that you guys would just absolutely drop the jaw over having to go through. I think the worst one was the final exam, where we were given 3 hours, and we've got a blue book, we had to write everything out. And my professor dictated 35 essay questions. We had to write down 35 essay questions, and then choose 25 of those essay questions to answer. And it took about 40 minutes for him to dictate 35 questions. And that left us less than 2.5 hours to then write 25 essays. Think about that.
Sounds like someone was prepared.
Huh?
Someone was prepared.
No, he was paranoid about somebody stealing his test questions. So he never wrote the test down. You know, we were challenged that you better really know that stuff if you were going to be able to be speedy in answering those questions. And here's the thing. A professor with that kind of test grade isn't going to just sit there and take a lot of time reading. Those answers had better be on target, well organized, and attention grabbing. Okay? Otherwise, they skim over and say, 5 out of 20 points, you know, that kind of stuff. So, and sometimes they're handed off to teaching assistants or graduate students, same thing. And they got their own workload, and so they're going to be real fast with their judgments on what you can do. So you have to rise above all of that. And when you transfer from MCC, when you get into your junior and senior and definitely graduate years, it's going to be very demanding that you demonstrate, you know what you studied and what they're giving to you. And answer to Justin, right? What you just said about them throwing stuff out at you. That's right. I had professors, and they had lectures, they had assigned readings, they had a textbook, and when you got to the test, there was stuff from other fields that you didn't know that you were supposed to be responsible for. So, but basically what it was is these were questions where it was up to you to figure out how to pull all that together and make sense of it. Okay, so there was a lot of critical thinking and understanding that had to be there for you to be able to do that. And so it was quite challenging. I used to say that at UT, they giggle about throwing your brains against the wall and watching them ooze down. Huh? I couldn't hear you.
Sounds like when you know what happened,
Yeah, well, it's a demanding place. I mean, you know, you got some top flight brains down there, and they're trying to teach. I had students go to UT from my programs. Most of them have done quite well. So I'm going to prepare you to face anything. And one of the things that we want to learn how to do is to do public speaking in various venues, all the different ways that it's actually occurred today. And in the last 3 years, it has just exploded in the electronic arena. And you know that over the past year and a half, you have probably heard more, even from your professors and teachers, electronically than face-to-face. And this is a trend that even when COVID goes away and we're fully socializing again, it's not going to leave us. My granddaughter, even before COVID came around, wait a minute, I got to shut that door and lock it. You don't want to add Eric being on top of COVID. Okay. Anyway, she was doing some little crafts and things. And we were sitting together on the couch, and I looked over at her. And I said, how'd you learn to do that? I asked her about something else she was doing. How'd you learn that? So, you know, you're doing it because you probably have younger people in your family. That's what they do. You do it too.
Same here. That's how I learned how to edit.
Well, I had a colleague years ago that said, there is not anything that you need to know that isn't already on YouTube being explained. You can always find a video on YouTube. So, at any rate. What happened this past year is that a number of people started making money. They were stuck at home, and they started making these little demo video type things. Some of them set up channels, and they developed quite a few viewers. And when you get to a certain number of views, YouTube contacts you and asks you if you want to allow ads. So those ads that we have to endure and get past with the video are making money for the person who made the video. And there are people that can pay a lot of money because they do really good videos and they build up a good channel subscription following. So you might be able to pay college and a bunch of other stuff when you develop this skill. So I'm not wasting your time. I'm trying to make this course as up to date and on target as possible. You with me? All right, here's what I want to do. Before we go into the overview of the second speaking project, our demonstration video, let's get our topics figured out. All right? Get our topics figured out. Now, here's the thing. If the class votes on a topic that you don't really like all that much and don't feel all that capable of putting together, and you want to choose another one, you can. All right, this is not going to be set in stone. This is just a guideline. Here's what I want to tell you. You can make any topic interesting to any audience. Let me repeat that. You can make any topic interesting to any audience. Okay? For example, what if I told you that for the next while, I was going to discuss inflation? How many of you would get excited about that? Anybody?
Oh, boy, my gas is going up by 0.2 cents.
Well, let me share a story with you. Let me share a story with you. I came to MCC in 1972. And when I came, tuition was $4 an hour. The entire tuition bill, typically for a full load, was less than $100, including a couple of fees. Would somebody share with me a 12 to 15 hour tuition bill they had this fall? Yes. Okay. So 16 times what that tuition bill was. Wow. All right. The textbook I used in my classroom was about 250 pages and hardbound and cost between $10 and $12. Now, you do not have to buy a textbook for this course. Do you have any textbooks that were 300 to 400 pages and hardbound? Anybody have that?
I had one.
Okay, how much was it?
About $138.
Okay, so about 13, 14 times the cost, okay? In 1972, minimum wage was $2.15. What is it today? Pardon? $7.50. So minimum wage has risen by about maybe 3 to 4 times, not quite 4. Okay, that's way behind 16 and 14 times increase. Gasoline, we're a commuter college, so we drive in somehow. Somebody drives us or we're driving the car. It was 50 cents a gallon in 1972. That was quickly followed in 1973 by a very well-known oil embargo that brought us to a standstill because we couldn't get oil. We were held hostage by OPEC. And it went on for a couple of several years. And that's when the big cars in America disappeared and all the little Toyota type cars and Hondas and everything came on the scene. And Ford and GM and Chrysler had not made enough of a shift fast enough. They didn't think Americans would ever give up their big cars. But when they couldn't get gas, and the gas cost them $4 or $5 a gallon, ding! They were driving the big cars real fast. And so they've gone back to SUVs now, so we're kind of gas guzzling again. But at any rate, so gas today is roughly what, $2.50? $2 to $3. Okay. It was a lot more than that years ago, but right now it's kind of stabilized. So basically our gas is 4 or 5 times the cost that it was in 1972. In 1972, you could rent an apartment, 2 bedrooms, furnished, all bills paid, for less than $300 a month in a good neighborhood. Anybody renting an apartment now? Okay, what do you pay? 500? And what's included?
It's all for interstate, so I have the other rooms.
So it's 2,000 a month? But bills aren't included, they'll all have to be up.
Everybody's separate, and then, so all of them is my apartment for 500, and then I pay, electricity.
Okay. Okay, they provide water. Okay. So basically, your living place at Baylor is a student-oriented apartment. Yeah, that's a new model that's come about in the last few years. I like it. Because all your rooms are walk-in inside. You have a shared kitchen and living room, basically.
Yes, that's about it.
Okay, but everybody has their own bathroom together. Okay, yeah. Okay, but your space is not what it was for $300. There you probably had about 700 or 800 square feet. Here you probably have 400. Right? Yeah. Okay. Well, it works. Okay. Probably a little more secure than a dormitory. I've been in dorms, and I've been in apartments. I like single residence, single unit residence. I don't want to share a wall ever again in my life. I've done that. Okay, all right. So basically, what you're seeing here is that the college expenses far outweigh the living expenses. Groceries, I remember when I was first married in the late and early 70s and going finishing up the bachelor's degree. Well, no, I finished that. It was the graduate school I was working on. We'd go to H-E-B and you could get 5 chicken pot pies for $1. I think there was 2 morsels of chicken per pie. But all I know is I ate so many of those that it took me 30 years to ever eat another chicken pot pie. Ramen noodles did not turn on the scene yet. At H-E-B, you could get 5 loaves of white sliced bread for $1. You'd be lucky to find it for less than 3 today. 1 loaf. So you can see that food is kind of increased in cost, and it's going up because of the COVID supply lines being messed up, and production being messed up due to COVID. And so food is going to be spiking up here over the next year or so. We already have started to come. I noticed a big increase in my food bill last month. I make a trip to the grocery store about once a month. My husband does the other trip. But I stock up once a month. And so I can see very quickly, you know, what my bill has gone up to. I'm doing it those few times instead of all the time. Okay. I noticed that inflation is something that is constant. It's always going to be costing more as we progress through time. And, you know, a huge grocery bill in the 30s was like $5. A huge grocery bill today is like $500. And so you can see that the value of things constantly is on upswing. I remember selling Girl Scout cookies for 35 cents a box. Yeah.
$6.
Yeah. Yeah, they're now $6. Maybe 7 by the time we get to February. You what?
I haven't seen Girl Scouts like that.
Well, they've been around. It's just that COVID thing cut out the little walk-up tables and stuff. And I'm even ringing your doorbell. Yeah, I had to post a sign on that door last Halloween, and I'll probably have to do it again this Halloween, that we just don't feel safe about participating with this thing going on, especially with family members with delicate health situations. I don't want to be the one to bring in the jerk and share it with you. Okay. So to my trip down memory lane, watching inflation impact the ability to be a student. I would say that the experts say that college education is only going to continue spiraling cost-wise upward. Now, I think personally that COVID has set it back somewhat, and I think it will give it a little bit more of a stability. The rapid rise is being slow. But the advice of experts is don't waste time in college. Exercise good time management. Utilize the available services and support systems the college has for you so that you can complete each course successfully and earn a top grade so that you can move forward with the next program of study and have a really good resume where people definitely want to hire you. All right? So, your GPA can actually affect your credit report. Did you know that? And the credit report affects the rates that you pay for insurance, car loans, home loans, and even student loans. So the credit report is all about, that's your report card as an adult. It's all about how reliable and trustworthy you are. And the GPA is another indicator of how reliable, trustworthy, and competent you are. So it all fits together.
So the stupider you are, the more you have to pay.
That's exactly right. And whether it's fair or not is not the issue. The issue is that's the game. So can you play the game? Can you excel in the game?
Capitalism.
Now, if you are good at public speaking skills, in a live audience, in an electronic environment, the chances are you will do well in getting an upper level job with the salary and perks and benefits. All right? And that's where I want you to be. All right, so let me ask you this. I didn't see too much squirming. I saw a lot of eye contact on a pretty dull subject. Why were you listening to me? Well, beyond that. The subject, pardon? Okay. Are related to information directly to your experience, your needs, right? You could identify. Right? So here's the thing. You can make any topic interesting to any audience if you know how to connect it to it. So, if I'm going to talk about inflation to 5-year-olds, they're not going to be interested in the things I chose to talk about with you. They don't even know what those things are. So I need to tell them maybe about the cost of candy and video games and stuff like that, okay? I need to get into their world of where they spend money. All right, now that we have that in mind, here's what I'd like for us to do. Let me check and see if I ever had Logan show up. No. Okay. Who wants to go first? Okay. Victor is going to share with us. Huh? Oh, you can stay in your seat. Yeah, we're going to vote on. He's going to give us 3 or 4 ideas, and we're going to tell him which ones. And then I'm going to have him announce each idea after he presents them, and we'll raise our hands and we'll take a vote. We'll tell it. Yeah, just tell us screen, okay,
And
that's
then
number one.
we're gonna like model and stuff like how to make it look better and stuff like that. How to like make it better.
Sure.
When you put it back on.
Yeah, I need to know that one I can. I don't even know the others.
And then the second one would be like how to like make like quick edits, so like how to edit like vlogs and like videos stuff like that. Like, and like a quicker amount of time where it doesn't
Okay.
take so long.
So how to edit videos,
Yeah.
how to do a green screen, how to edit videos, and what's the third one?
The third one's kind of like way far away from that. It's like how to get like better confidence.
How to put on a big smile and go on.
This is gonna be a fake smile. It's gonna be a real So basically, I was gonna say like, I was gonna basically, I guess like.
How to express confidence.
Not
or
how to,
confidence?
how to gain it, like, within yourself. Expressing it doesn't mean that it looks real.
Okay.
Gain it.
How to gain personal confidence, how to use a green screen, how to edit video. Okay, green screen, anybody that here wants to know how to use a green screen, like the webinar.
You're talking a full one, yes.
Ah, but he's gonna tell you how to do it for cheap.
No, that's the $30 job.
Okay, how to edit videos. Okay, three of us would be interested in that. Okay, and everybody else wants the confidence thing? How to be more confident? Okay, now, you can choose whatever you want. Remember what I said, any topic can be interesting to anyone. Thank you, Victor. Okay, who's next? Okay, Amore. Okay, really, project your voice, because these masks are muffling.
My first one is how to prepare for an exam.
We can't hear you, I can't.
The first one is how to prepare for an exam. The second one, how to visit the anime. The third one, how to organize your room. And the fourth one is how to save money.
Okay. Organize your room, anybody interested in that one? Okay. How to save money, is that it? Okay, how many want to save money? Okay.
Money better.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I think that one may be you. Okay. How to save money. Well, of course, we're starting college students, so why not?
Rule number one, buy as long as possible.
Okay, who wants to go next? Oh, please, let's do this.
I can go.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Justin.
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I had asked you a week ago, so there's no excuse, get it going.
So you took my first one. when you
I
said-
thought, listen, nobody ever gives the same talk.
Yeah.
I had a speaking assignment years and years and years ago where I gave a newspaper article to everybody in class about the martial arts, the things like the show up every night. And I had them each give a speech, kind of demonstrating the use of language devices. And I didn't hear the same speech out of anybody. And we also recognize that the reason why we don't want to plagiarize is because we each have a unique perspective. And we lose that if we steal somebody else's perspective and put it out there as our own. We deny others a perspective they should have had. So, if you want the same topic as Victor or somebody else, it's okay.
My first idea was how to edit videos.
Okay, edit videos, what's another one?
The second was to be able to see writing mistakes.
Okay, how to recognize writing errors. That's a good one.
So that was the last thing, how to see your soul.
Okay, how to self-manage your personal image impression.
Not exactly.
Oh, okay.
I had this little thing that I like to do where I look at my soul, see how I'm doing as a person, mentally, and I can just have a little board in front of me that shows my emotions and stuff, and anyone can do it.
Okay, okay. So how to self-assess?
Yes.
Okay, how self-assess described? Anybody interested in hearing that process? Victor and I, Carla are, so much thrilled. And what was your other one? Edit a video?
Yeah.
Okay, video editing? Pardon my God, it's interesting. And all these projects coming up. And what's the other one you have?
If there is a fourth one, it would.
Well, I'm at the first one. I think I skipped
You
past.
got my first one, which was to edit videos. The second one was to learn how to see editing mistakes.
Oh, writing mistakes. Okay, writing errors. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I guess the self-assessment thing is the winner. Okay?
Yeah, so.
All right. But remember, you can go with any other topic that's connected to it.
All right.
All right. Now, who's next? Carla?
I'll make it.
How to make an omelet? I love them. I just love an omelet. I got to eat them every chance I get. Okay, so I'm going to vote for that one. What else? Pardon? Oh, how to clean your shoes. Now, that's not a bad one at all. But they're real tricky, these new fabrics and suede on athletic shoes and stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
How to organize your notes.
How to
Organize your notes.
how to organize your notes. That's pretty useful in college. All right, notes. Anybody want to note? Okay, we got one person. Shoes. Okay, we got, oh, wow. That seems to be kind of, I think you're going to go there. Okay, yeah, I had another class for that topic. It was really popular there too. So shoes are important to us. Okay, who else? Yes.
I just want to have something to do.
Cheesecake, okay,
How to prepare yourself for a job interview.
okay.
How to clean properly.
How to what?
Clean properly.
Clean properly, yourself, your room, what? Well, pick something specific.
The kitchen.
Oh, okay, how to clean the kitchen? Okay. Anybody interested in how to clean the kitchen? Okay, and what was your, how, anybody interested in how to make cheesecake?
Yeah.
Food is a winner. And what, and the other one was how to prepare yourself for a job interview. Yeah, I want cheesecake.
You brought us the cheat day.
Okay, who do I have left? 3 people, okay. All right. I can't hear you. Can you yell at me? How to do a turn? Oh, a dance turn, okay. How to bake a cookie, okay. How to what? Okay, how to stretch without hurting yourself. That's kind of important. Okay. So, who wants to bake a cookie? Who would like to do a dance turn? Look good on the floor there. And the other one was how to stretch without hurting yourself. Okay. I'm saying the total process is 3. So you choose. Okay? All right. Yeah, Noah?
So I've been looking at waste for years. Like how to lift weights properly.
Oh, okay.
My second one is how to make notes on iPad and take notes by take a big note.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And I said, how do you tell
How do you what?
how do you tell
Oh, how to organize your calendar for school purposes? Yeah, okay. Fine. iPad notes, anybody interested? First, we gotta have an iPad. Everybody can afford that one. Okay, calendar notes, organizing notes on the calendar. That looks like a win. Yeah, and I think that'd be a very useful one too. Probably get some good, viewers.
And during,
Okay, very good, very good. Are you our last Indian here? No. Okay.
Kind of surprise you, like, I was kind of surprised.
You what?
Kind of surprise you.
If you want to, that's fine. I just want to give you the, option of where the class was.
I can share, let me know. Okay, so I had, how to decorate cupcakes.
Okay.
And then I had like how to cook one of my, favorite meals, because I'm like a low calorie eater. And so it's like 57% protein, but it's only 150 calories. And so I had to cook that.
Oh, well, that sounds, like a lot of us might be interested in
And
that.
then how to paint one of my best own paintings. That's really easy, but it looks really intricate, but I have that.
Okay.
So how to paint something, and then how to cook my favorite.
Okay. Cupcake decorating. Low calorie protein meal. And, then painting technique. I think the low calorie meal is definitely share it with him.
That
He's
was
my
my,
creative person.
I asked my grandma, like, what to do, because all my stuff was really girly, like, I'm a really girl.
But we all eat.
Well, I told her, I said, Hannah, I said, all I know how to do is bake and eat flowers. I was like, so, like, I can't go in here with a class of the guys and be like, you want to know how to like make icing and how to paint with flowers? Like, you can't do that. Like, I don't.
Oh, that's so sad.
I don't want to have to appeal to guys too, so she was like, well, guys like to work out. And I was like, okay. So
Well, to be fair, making icing is a lot of fun.
that's really hard.
It is.
I'm really glad I didn't choose that one because it's really hard. I was trying to think how I was gonna put this in like a 3 to 5 minute video without like.
I really am looking forward to the low calorie protein meal.
3 to 5 minutes. I like that.
Okay, everybody's got topic, possibilities here. All right, so, y'all excuse me, my allergies are on the ramp again.
I was like,
Okay,
Miss Duncan, I have a question.
uh-huh,
So you said you're married to Wayne Duncan, the math professor?
yes,
Oh, okay, I have him on Mondays and then I come to you on Tuesdays and I have no clue, so.
yeah. Well, I hope that you're not in therapy for so long years after
It was
this.
just crazy. They were like really different, and so whenever I found out, I was like, wait, he was like him? But that's really cool.
No, I tell him, I said, you keep all those numbers over there. I do words. I don't do numbers.
You guys are external, so obviously we have.
Just, no, don't go there. Don't go there. It's why I have a grading system that's super simple. All righty, everybody. I'm on the course entry page, and I just want to give a shout out that from this point on in the semester, you should be checking this course entry page several times a week, if not daily, because this is where I post changes, updates, recommendations, reminders, all kinds of stuff that's really kind of helpful. And what you would want to do is you want to scroll down and keep reading till you start reading stuff you've already seen. And that way, if I've posted 2 or 3 new items, you'll catch them all. All right, now, as you know, this is the nav bar up here. And so what I'm going to do right now is, let's see. There, I'm going to change this over to the student view. So it looks like the way you see it more. Not exactly, but more. Okay, content is the big hub of the class. The videos that you do, the video presentations that you do, all of those, you will upload your video to that presentational discussion topic, because that's where everybody in class will be posting their critiques of your presentation. So this is important. Assessments, that's where you can check attendance and grades. And if you want to look at assignments, you can. But assignments are always at the end of each speaking project module. So let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at the second speaking project. And so we've done the first one. So now we're on the second one. And we've got 3 assignments involved in this project. And the first, of course, is to turn in a little document. I've given you a template. We'll look at it in a moment, that you can fill out this afternoon if you want to. But this is where you select your topic and you state it to where it is not just cryptic keywords, but you know, you can know exactly like how to make a Western omelet, say, that kind of thing. Okay, so you might want to narrow it down just a little bit on the omelet thing. There's a bunch of different kinds of omelets. Okay, and then you're going to think about this particular group of people. This is who you're giving speech to. But since you're posting it on YouTube, spreading particulates in the air.
Functional habits, right?
Yeah. No, good person. Okay. Who might be attracted to your channel? Okay. People with dietary concerns, you definitely headed your way with that protein, low calorie meal.
I'm not.
People who are concerned about their personality, their development, can be headed towards your kind of topic. So, at any rate, food things are going to attract people who like this food. That's most of all of us. And you know, practical things like calendars and what do we decide on your picture? What? I think
it was in between two, like either the self-confidence one or the.
Okay. So we've got people who want to know how to handle technology. We have people who want to know how to handle themselves. We have people who want to eat something good that's easy to make. And so, and then what was yours? Yeah, food again. Okay, so think about what kind of audience do you want to attract? Let's say that this is your premiere video to establish a channel on YouTube, and you're going to follow this thing up with other similar videos and see if you can build a following. Or maybe only the people in class have viewed your video, and so you say, well, that's not going to be the path I want to take to make money. It may be the topic, it may be how you made the video. And so over the next week or so, you're going to look at some things about making a video that will attract people. All right. On this template, describe the audience you want to attract. You can briefly describe your classroom audience, but think about that audience on YouTube. What audience do you want your video to reach out to? Okay? And give a brief paragraph description of them. And that's worth up to 10 points. 2 points if you get it in early this week. Okay. Then the next big assignment is the tape itself, the video itself. And so you want to look at the grading rubric for that video presentation and make sure you're going to score 5s. I've had students score perfectly, and I love it when they do, because don't forget, I majored in public speaking. I love public speaking. I love to hear a good presentation. And I have besides a personal interest reason here for you to make a top score, I have a selfish one. Remember I said I don't like numbers? If you score perfectly, I don't have to do math. Save a word person. Don't make her do math.
Oh, just gotta go.
Okay, all right. So please prepare, rehearse, make it happen. All right. All right. And then after you post your video to the discussion topic for the demonstration video, you will need to watch the videos of your classmates and pick out 3 people to write a critique for. Let them know what they're doing right. Make any suggestions you can think of for them to score better next time. And you won't know how they scored, but you'll probably notice some things that they could have done better in the future. And we're a class team. So that means we're going to coach each other. We're going to help each other. That's what my competition teams always do. Yes.
So in class, like when we actually watch videos, like we're not gonna comment on.
We're not watching the videos in class. You're going to go out. This will be asynchronous. You'll go to the discussion board, watch the video, and respond.
Oh, okay. So like it won't be like the
We
video
have
will be-
one speech in class, the informative speech, and so you'll be, unless we're in lockdown. I've got the assignment
Oh, wait.
both ways, yeah. So, but hopefully you'll be in class and we'll just do a Zoom
Oh,
meeting.
we won't talk about these, like, once we know, we won't talk about it in class.
We certainly can. Yeah, and since our class is so small, I'm glad you brought that up, that when we do the informative speech, if I can get everybody on the first day, you'll get 10 extra bonus points. That's kind of huge. And then we can take the second day to talk about our speeches, which is what I'd really like to do. And I don't get to do that with my larger classes. So this is kind of fun. Yes, ma'am. Yes. I just, it's such a crazy world. And I don't want to be sacrificed on the altar.
And then when you get back, then you'll be open.
Only let good drive.
I'm pretty scared, so. Then when they see me, they'll be like, oh, that's like.
Let me tell you, I've watched these, I've watched these videos that put out the police department, excellent. Run high side kind of stuff. And but there's one video that they had out, I don't know if we have it up on our website, there it is, and all. But if you, I didn't know that they watching it being demonstrated on the video, you run at a person from the side, if you in the mid part of the leg in any area, you can buckle them. The other thing you can do, if somebody got in our classroom to start shooting, you can get your laptops, your phones, chairs, and everybody just start throwing stuff at it. It'll disrupt them. And you might say, well, I don't want to sacrifice my phone. And you're like, what about your life?
I never thought, what happened to share?
No, God, doing all this, I'm gonna be over here screaming.
Sound distraction, just a second. You suddenly have a secret passageway out of here, and you thought, no one else knows.
But here's the thing, that, what we really will probably do is if we heard gunshots in the building, we're dousing all the lights. And we're all gonna gather where we are out of sight, we'll look at this. And they say they can't see through them. Yes, you can. Yes,
What do you
can.
mean, that?
So, the only thing I can say that we can do is to maybe move furniture where we hide behind it. But, yeah, I really griped about this, and, you know, the administration thinks of me as the gripey old lady. Well, that's fine, but I make good points, and I'm not alone. Whether it's a storm hurtling wood through the windows, like hurricanes or where, or whether it's somebody trying to attack students, like they did at Virginia Tech. I think these windows deserve shutters. Just shutters. We deserve something solid to shut on those windows. And sometimes in the late afternoon, that sun comes in and really blanks out trying to show stuff on the screen. And it heats up the room too. So, gripey old lady has some fair points.
I like doing this. I had a class in this building last semester, and it was like a lot smaller than this, and the walls were gray, and it didn't have windows, and I felt like I was in like a jail cell learning how to talk.
You were, but it is ultimately safer under certain conditions. What?
Why do all schools have like bricks, but not like?
Well, in this part of the country, we can have brick, but if you go to Wyoming, you're not gonna see it. And the reason why is they have snowdrifts that last quite a while. The snowdrifts have a lot of moisture. And brick is very porous. And so it creates a really nasty situation that is not structurally sound. Have brick structures in Wyoming, so they will have the siding with the treatment on it. So you'll notice that up in the Northeast as well. But brick, you go out to the Southwest, you're not going to see brick as much as you're going to see stucco and concrete. But these big concrete blocks, they can make a wall that's like 2 feet thick, and you almost don't need air conditioning inside with that thickness. If you go to the Gulf Coast, you're going to see what we call plantation shutters. That's where it came from. They're very popular in houses. I have them on every window in my house because of allergies and stuff. And but they do. You lock them up, and you don't have to buy the firewood every time a storm comes through. So on real hot days, I don't open my shutters. I leave them all sealed up. And when it was real cold last February, I had them all sealed up with blankets taped to them and all that kind of stuff. So architecture is very interesting, and I've traveled all over the country, and I've always been interested in the different building materials. Like I was born in the state of Tennessee, and somebody asked me the other day, I think some student asked me the other day, how come Texas homes, they moved here from someplace else? How come Texas homes don't have basements? Well, it's cheaper to build on a slab foundation, which our terrain allows us to do. That's not true in Tennessee. It's very hilly. You have split level homes. You have basements because you built into the side of a hillside in most cases. And so that's true on the eastern side of the country.
I always wondered,
What?
like, I always wondered, like, why aren't they so
the tornado shelters, storm shelters. Although I think personally, to me, Tornado Alley has moved about 100 to 200 miles, 300 miles east. It used to be from below Waco up through the Midwest, curving back to Chicago. But it seems like all the tornadoes over the last half dozen years or so are going up through Mississippi and Illinois and Ohio, Arkansas, and western Tennessee, up through that, where I see a lot of death and destruction. So anyway, I don't know. There's a lot of climate change afoot. Arizona used to be a rainforest. This used to be the bed of an ocean. There's an ocean between Appalachia and Rocky Mountain.
As the water evaporated.
All the continents were not separated. They broke apart. So there's a lot of stuff that we can't control. It's going to happen anyway. And the sun's getting warmer every day because it's aging. And that's what stars do. They get hotter and hotter. So the reason why there's a big push to make Mars habitable is because the ring of being habitable is going to move away from Earth eventually. You and I will all be long gone. But the temperature, they think at one point Venus was a place you could live. But then the sun's heat killed it. The Earth is. We don't know for sure. It's got such a thick atmosphere. But it's interesting. You know, get on YouTube, watch the video. All right, now let me go on through here. Okay. We selected a topic. I've talked about connecting with the audience, but review this if you want to remember some of the things I highlighted. Now, this next area is important because you will be using physical presentation items. So these three videos are student how-to demonstration videos. They were not made for YouTube. They are made for a classroom speaking assignment. How to make slime is pretty darn good. How to saddle a horse is outside. And what's remarkable about this video is the sound doesn't have all that wind blowing. That's very annoying. And then the peanut butter cookie demonstration is very well done too. They're all well organized. They're all well delivered. And technically speaking, they are not annoying. I went through hundreds of videos trying to find some for my students. And so these are not YouTube how-to demos because I'm gonna let you bring some to class next week so we can take a look at them and see what we can learn from them. How to deliver physically, on demonstration and talk, on the electronic microphones and so forth, and also lighting, what we see in the video, how to avoid clutter, and all that kind of stuff. See this number 12? It's for real. You can go ask my husband how many times to rehearse. He will tell you a story about having to speak at a faculty meeting to everybody. He was a little concerned about having to do that. But he was clear about that. Okay. How to practice your speech. 9 rehearsal tips from Toastmasters. And a good networking thing you can do when you finish this class is to join a Toastmaster chapter here in Waco. Okay? There's a lot of business people who are responsible for hiring or recommending who should be hired. And it's not a bad idea to network and make friends. Okay? A lot of the best jobs come from those kinds of soft connections. All right. This time we start critiquing speeches. So another skill that you want to master is listening to critique speeches. So when you watch each other's videos on the discussion topic, you might want to know how to write comments back to that person so that they're constructive and not hurtful or offensive. I had a student in class, oh gosh, years and years and years ago. And I've had some students come through my classes with really rotten attitudes. But then there are rotten people in this world, and, you know, it's gonna be there at some point. And this young man, every time he got up in front of class, he would say, "Oh, I have to do this speech." Kind of attitude. And about the third time, and back then we didn't have all this electronic stuff, and so there were pieces of paper that students wrote on in class, and then I gathered them up, cut their names off of the critique, passed the critique on to a speaker, and gave them a strip of paper with the critique points back to them. So it went really great. But there was one critique I couldn't pass on. Because this student had had enough of this guy with the attitude. And wrote on the critique, "You just didn't give him wrote the S word, did you?" And while I totally agreed with that sentiment, I can't pass on socially unacceptable words. And I was very professional for a class. There are other ways to word it. I am offended by this maybe inappropriate attitude and expressing every time you get up to speak. You know, something like that would have been all right. I would have expressed the same thing, even though the other way was shorter and
More concise.
more concise. You know, that's what usually shorter is. Yeah. All right. Now, this next section has a lot of stuff, depending on how you're going to do it. But thank you too, because we wanted to be able to develop the possibility of viewership. And I really want to give a shout out here to Prof. Duncan's tips for posting a YouTube video to a discussion. And I'm going to, this week, I've got to update that document because Brightspace changed the toolbar on the discussion message windows that you will use to insert your video. So hang with me. Don't be too eager to post a video. None of you will be ready to post a video this week anyway, so I think I got a little lead time here. Okay. And then here are your speaking assignments. Always at the end of a module, a project module, the assignments are here. Now, I want to caution you about something. The topic approval and designated audience assignment has a template that you will download, save as, with your name and the name of the assignment. And then you should save it to your desktop or a thumb drive. And then upload it to the assignment folder from that personal location. Do not upload it from Google, iCloud, OneNote, or any server, because Brightspace or I will not be able to open it. Okay? And it's up to you that I can open it when I grade. And I'll be grading a day or two or more after the due date. And so it'll be too late for me to tell you today you did it wrong and you got to redo it. All right? So you need to take care of that. Now, you should get an email confirmation when you you upload something. And you can always go back into the assignment folder and view your submission there. Okay, so you can do that and check it and make sure it opens, it does whatever it's supposed to. So let me open up this assignment real quick. Let's see. And you just hit the upload button and it will show you, it will drop, or you can minimize it, size it on the window and drag it over from where you have it listed on the screen. Okay, so here's the template right here. And here are the instructions. So read the instructions and then you click open your thing, and you'll have to enable editing, and then you'll need to do a save as and locate it someplace outside of a server. And then after that, you can just state your topic and then describe your classroom. Might want to change it over to the left alignment. But anyway, first and last name, you put in that box. Submission date, you don't need to fill that in. I copy and paste it into that box from Brightspace, because Brightspace stamps it for you. And I will also fill out the score, the bonus, and the total here. And what I'll do then is I will score your document. I will save it, and then I'll save it as a PDF document. And then we will go back into grades and get out of this. Okay, we don't need to say that. Okay, when I go into grades and I record your score, over on the feedback place, I will attach that document with the score. All right. And so you can open it up and look at your score there. It'll also, the score will also be in the little score box for grades. Any questions about that? All right, now the next thing is I'm going to go back. Got about 2 minutes left here. And the how-to demonstration video. You will have instructions for how to organize and develop and deliver your speech. Here is the grading rubric. And I would probably print out this, maybe just print current page, but print out this page, because that's really good to have a hard copy of as you're working. And as you practice and rehearse, you can ask yourself how you're doing, or if you get somebody to listen to you, give them a copy of this and let them grade you. And by the way, if you go next door to the Academic Support and Tutoring Center, they also have one over in the Learning Technology Center where the library is being renovated right now. But anyway, over here they have a video room and they have study rooms with technology. And the staff over there are always willing to listen to you speak and give you a critique. Okay, so classmates, other people, that all, fine. Now, okay, so get rid of that. And then the last assignment is the classmate feedback. And so here are your instructions. Here's a link to take you to the discussion. And it's also available up here on the list under the discussions tab. And so I'll be updating this document like I promised you. I've got it everywhere. Believe me, it works. I've never had it not work. And it cuts through what some of the other people advise you, and it's faster. So I like shortcuts. I like things that are fast. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to waste time. And of course, I've lived long enough that now I really don't want to waste time. I want every moment to be meaningful. All right, so what you need to do is to start a new thread. And then you put in your first and last name here. And this is the magic button right here for uploading a video. If you click on that, forget YouTube, scroll right on down to insert link. So when you get your video uploaded to YouTube, you can right click on your video and you can either get the embed code or you can get the code. And when you get that, then you just come in here and select this and you just paste your code in there and give it a title and move on. But actually what will happen is you probably won't even need to give a title, because what's so cool about it, I'm going to cancel out here. I'm going to go into the discussion list. You might have noticed on the classmate greetings, my self-introduction, if you use that link, it'll look like this. Isn't that cool? That's why I like it better than some of the other approaches that are listed. Yeah.
So like when we do the video, it's not gonna be in YouTube format, it's gonna be in like Facebook format, where it's gonna be.
It'll be in YouTube format. You're inserting a YouTube video right here.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when we record, like when we record a YouTube video or like, right?
I guess
Well,
the real
we're going to
question,
be dealing with objects, so we need to see you as you're moving the objects around, okay? So it's not a series of pictures in Camtasia. It's a live demonstration.
Then you can use pictures as well.
You can, and like you know how to pull up words, and captions and stuff. That's what I need to know.
oh boy,
You're gonna come sit in my office one of these days. Okay?
that's gonna be a little hard to throw.
But I'm not asking you, if you look at that critique form, I don't have anything about that. It's background, lighting, noise, volume, that sort of thing. So look at those evaluation items. That's what you're responsible for. As far as tricky editing, not yet. Later, we're going to have a team group presentation. It's going to be a media presentation where you promote involvement and or support of a college or community service. You're going to choose and do a promo video about it. Okay? That's when you can pull out all the stops and bells and bows and whistles and everything else. Okay? Yeah. Well, you know, we got to build up the thing. All right, folks, I'm 4 minutes overdue here. So, are there any wrap-up questions or anything you want me to answer?
I have some